The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
I know you, your past, your future.
Welcome back, fellow Imperials. This is episode 6 of PSVG's The State of the Xbox Empire, your all-access pass to everything Xbox. Joining me this month, is the one and only Mr. Donnie Reece.
Greetings, Kublings! Wait.
How you doing, buddy?
I still don't understand this. What's going on, Nathan? It's been too long, man. I'm excited.
It has been very long. I mean, I think we were tweeting back and forth the other day about it's been like 82 years.
We should start keeping like dog years count of like when the original 4 actually, like when the Avengers, PSVG's Avengers get back together in pod. I wonder how many times it's actually happened. You know, it happened like the first 10 episodes, and it's only happened like 4 episodes since then.
Yeah, I mean, so the first few episodes were you, me, and Kevin, and then I think Kyle was like our fact checker for a couple ones, like because something happened where he couldn't actually join in, and then like later on he did come in. Yeah, those were fun times back then. In the archives, right? You can still access to those.
Yep.
Wow, those are the dark times.
Wayback Machine. We don't suggest that you do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. But hey, this is the State of the Xbox Empire, PSVG's first monthly show. We like to set trends here at the Xbox Empire, and Xbox in general likes to set trends too. In fact, they have something now that they introduced today called Xbox All Access. They officially announced that today, and this isn't new to the Xbox platform. Actually, they did something similar with, I think it was Cox Cable or one of the cable providers in the 360 era that would let you use your Xbox as a top box instead of using their system. It would also be a little extra fee per month.
I remember that.
It was, so it was new back then. This is not new to Microsoft to do, so it's kind of cool to see them doing it all themselves, though. It's all funded through them. However, out of the other, of the big 3, we'll say, they're the only company that I think has done this. Is that an American mentality, do you think, or is that just the way they are trying to get some consumers back in their court?
I think it probably is an American thing. I think it probably has something to, greatly to do with the fact that they're American-based, and this is their primary market. Devin had also mentioned in the chat earlier, I didn't fact-check this or not, but he mentioned that several retailers had tried to do these programs at various points in time as well. These lease-to-own, I guess, programs. But I don't think any digital services are included. I'd imagine it's just hardware. So, it's very neat. It's very, phone model stuff. But Dell, the Dell backing program that's kind of supporting this, they do the same thing with computers. So you can go get a new Dell laptop, for $23 a month for 2 years and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just kind of fits that model they already have.
Yeah, it's interesting. So with this Xbox All Access, again, it was rumored, and then it was officially announced today as we record this on August 27th. It's 24 months, and it's 0% APR, so there's no extra fees on top of that. What it includes is an Xbox One console. You can choose either the S or the X, varying fees there. But it also includes Xbox Live Gold for that duration, as well as Xbox Game Pass.
Yes.
That is a fantastic value. Like, let's hold on for a second here as far as looking at this. For somebody who wants to play 4K games, that wants to get in on gaming, but maybe doesn't have the budget to do so, this is the best way to get in. If you want to get in a modern console and you want to get in a 4K console, let's say with the Xbox One X, you can do this for $35 a month. You get Game Pass, so you get access instantly to 100 games, in addition to like Forza Horizon 4 when it launches, Crackdown, and the Master Chief Collection's coming on it next month with a 4K patch. So this value is tremendous when you look at everything that you get as a new gamer, especially to the Xbox ecosystem. Donnie, if you were a new person coming into the Xbox ecosystem, would this be alluring to you?
Not now. That's kind of my takeaway from this. Not now. Not at this point in the game. I guess if I was a smart consumer, if I kept up with trends, if I knew, that new consoles might be coming, if I was, if I watched E3 and saw Phil Spencer already talking about the next Xbox, I would be a little concerned of locking in to a 2-year commitment to this current Xbox, kind of at full retail. I just know that, with specials and whatnot, you can get a better deal over the period of time. That said, if it was kicking off a new console, if this was a program that Microsoft looks to keep indefinitely, and when the next console comes out, this is something they hope to push, it would be very enticing. I actually think the only real big downfall to this current offer is the fact that there's no upgrade at the end of the contract. There's no upgrade clause. Like with phones, typically you get an upgrade. You can upgrade a year or an upgrade per contract. If I could lock in today and be told when our next thing comes out, you can upgrade, at no cost if you just renew the length of your contract, then it'd be far more enticing. I'd be way more into it then, because you're kind of future-proofing some expenses. But I mean, it's not a bad price, especially the S. I think the S more so than the X, considered what you get. The services almost are that. At the S price, it's $24 a month.
$21.99, I believe.
And
let me fact check.
Xbox Live and Game Pass is $20 of that on a per month basis.
$21.99.
Yeah, so you're getting an Xbox for $4 a month. It's a pretty sweet deal. Whereas the X, you're paying for that premium hardware, as you should. But I think the X deal over 2 years is like $800, and that's quite a bit, even for the X.
Right. So I did the math earlier, just kind of thinking about it, and in the X 2-year contract cycle, taking everything for face value, so $500 for the X, $120 for 2 years of Live, and then $10 a month, so $240 for Game Pass. Putting it all together, you actually, in the long run, are about $20 under cost for all that. So you're saving a little bit. However, as any of us gamers know, you don't buy Xbox Live at full price. You don't. You wait around for deals. You go and you get on Amazon or Best Buy or wherever, and they usually have deals where it's $10 off or something.
Dude, I didn't buy Game Pass at full retail. During E3, they were selling Game Pass at half off. I bought 3 years of Game Pass. I'm in.
3 years?
Dude, I bought as much as you could give me. I was like, is this something I'm planning on having forever? And it is. I'm like, I love Game Pass. It's the thing that brought me back to Xbox. It's probably the number one feature. If there's no Game Pass on the next console, I'm going to be furious. You have no idea. Like, hell hath no fury like Donnie Reece if they are like, what, Game Pass? We don't know what that is. But I don't expect them to do that. I fully expect them to walk out with an awesome new console that plays the 80,000 Ks and melts faces, and they're like, Game Pass day one. Here's a bunch. We got Halo. There's games here day one. I'm expecting to come home with my brand new Xbox, plug it in, and games, and just go. That's what I'm looking forward to. So with Game Pass, I was all in, and I was like, why not save myself future expenses at half off? Why would you not? Like, if you love Game Pass like that, and that's your expectation as I had, why wouldn't I buy multiple years of it? Why would I just go with one? I'm going to buy it next year and the year after anyway. Might as well keep buying it.
Just get it now while it's on sale. Like you said, 2 for 1. I mean, you basically bought, 2 for 1, like 3 years for a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good deal. I did snag a couple myself, too. I think I got 1 year worth of Game Pass. So
it's a sweet deal.
And there was actually a pretty good deal, too, on Live at one point during this last recent sale. And I got that stacked up through the next 3 years. There was a pretty good deal. I can't recall what it was off the top of my head, though. But this All Access, Donnie, is this an attempt for them to get people in that are PlayStation 4 or Switch users, or are they trying to lure the people who have not yet jumped onto the new console generation?
I think it's probably the latter than the former. I mean, I always think every one of the manufacturers are always trying to appeal to somebody, to everybody, to as many people as possible. I just think this is getting their product at a price level that might garner interest that the current price doesn't. I mean, I really think that's what the whole thing is offered at, because I don't think you're going to be seeing, $800, $500 in the contract. What they're going to be seeing is $22 a month, $34 a month. You don't even have to pay us now. There's no upfront costs, right? You just walk out with an Xbox, and we'll get you at the first of the month or whatever. That's the sell. It's like, hey, you want an Xbox? How about an Xbox with Game Pass and all these games and all this? It's an easy sell to like a parent. It's $34 a month, and all of the monthly fees that you're already going to have to pay are already included. They're not going to go through all the nickel and diming. That's the sell from the salesman's part is. You can buy an Xbox, but then you're going to have to buy Live, and then you're going to have to buy Game Pass, and you have to do this. Just buy this, and it's taken care of. It's convenience. Right. Just $22 a month. Your kid gets the console. There's games on the box. They can play online with their friends. You're done. Quit worrying about it. Just give us a credit card. We'll charge it every month, and you go on about your merry way. And, the thing is, I often say this on all of our podcasts. I think we get way too in the weeds of what we think other people should do, because we're these enthusiasts that are like, how many people even know that this is a thing right now? Like, how many people check xboxwire.com? Not many, not a lot. We have to realize that there's a huge amount of people out there, a casual market, if that's what we typically call them, but just casual consumers that have no idea, that Halo Infinity is a thing. They don't know. They just know that Xbox plays games that their kids or whatever like. There's way more of them than there are of us. I think this is kind of more geared at them. Just give them an easy way to buy everything they want. Could you imagine being 45, never grown up with games, and your kid wants to buy a game? You walk into a store and they got the X and the S and this old thing and the new thing, but the new thing plays the games from the old thing, and you got to have the Live. Dude, it makes a lot of sense. Just $25 a month. Here you go. Done. You saved me a lot of heartache. Done.
I mean, so let's talk about that for a second. You said walking into a store. I don't think that this particular offer is available to anybody walking into a store. I think this is still definitely something that they'd have to go to this website to do, to sign up for. Best Buy is not going to advertise this.
Correct.
Because Best Buy wants that unit sold.
Yeah, I think it's only Microsoft stores.
Right.
I think you can do that.
Microsoft stores. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because Microsoft Store, they don't care. They just want you to have the system. They just want you to play the games on that system and spend time there. So, Donnie, you mentioned something as far as somebody walking into a store and saying, I want to get this for my kid, $35 $25 a month, and say all your services are included. Mm-hmm. So, just again, stepping back to that scenario, they've never had a console. Maybe they have an 8-year-old at home and they're getting curious about gaming and things like that. And this eliminates the barrier to entry to a lot of people. So let's say your target demographic is those who maybe fall under the median income for a state. Let's say they're under $60,000 a year for their median income. This is still attainable in their target range because they can definitely provide that entertainment, which is a good value for entertainment for that. Let's just say that for a minute. $22 a month for getting a new Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player if you had a 4K TV, and for the access to 100 plus games and brand new Xbox exclusive games when they come out. This is a heck of a value for just the entertainment factor. So if you are wanting to find a way to entertain your family and you want a budget, this is an easy way to do it. Wouldn't you say?
My very first thought when this was being rumored was teenage Donnie would have been so into this.
Oh yeah.
I totally the amount of consoles and games that I sold, that I traded in to scrounge and muster up the initial cost of jumping into a new console. I could have easily either did chores or mowed lawns, to get to $25 a month, but I could have easily sold this to my parents. I won't ask you to buy another game. You don't have to buy games. You don't have to buy services, anything. Just $25 a month. All the games are included. Mm-hmm. It's an easy sell. I'm not going to hit you up at Christmas for Forza. I'm not going to hit you up for Halo. I'm not going to hit you up for Gears. It's there. It's included.
And Xbox Live is also included, so you don't have to worry about those costs. So I think it's a very good option for those who it makes sense for. Again, I mentioned this earlier on Twitter to a tweet that Donnie, not Donnie, you're Donnie, hi Donnie, that Sean Capri, our buddy, tweeted out. He was excited about talking about this, and then there was some negativity behind it. But then I said, you know what? You can now. Xbox has made the most powerful console also the most accessible in two ways now, with the accessibility controller, and now with people on a budget that aren't able to hit that barrier to entry. It's now gone. So Microsoft has found a way to get you the most powerful gaming console for $35 a month for 2 years. I mean, granted, if you just want to spend $500 outright, or put that on a Best Buy card for no interest for 6 months or whatever, you might be better off if that's what you want to do and you don't want Xbox Live Gold or you don't want Game Pass. But I'm telling you, you're going to get Xbox Live Gold. You are going to. And you're going to get, or you at least want to try, Game Pass and see what it's all about, because as a person new to that console, there's no better way to enter into a console than having 100 games ready for you to play as soon as you get home.
That's why I'm stoked for Game Pass on next gen, man. I
Right,
can't tell you
exactly.
how excited I am. I'll buy a new console and have a bunch of games on it. It's gonna be a sweet deal.
I'm just like you. I hope that they carry Game Pass into the next generation. I don't see why they wouldn't. Because,
I don't see how they can't.
Right. You look at Games with Gold, and it went from the 360 to Xbox One. They could have ended that program, with the free games every month. They could have ended that program with the Xbox One generation, but they didn't. For a while there, they were giving out brand new games every month that were launching on the system free with Games with Gold. And now they're kind of doing that same mentality for some of their exclusives that are coming out. Doing this right now is a really good idea because you're getting into that fall season. And you're getting into, Forza Horizon 4 releasing just around the corner.
Ooh.
Then you got Crackdown around the corner. You have access to all the Halos on Game Pass. You have access to a pantheon of games.
All new
to be able to play.
updated Halo. All new 4K Halo.
4K Halo.
All new
Let's talk
frame
about
rate.
that for
All
a
new
second.
lobby Halo.
Yes. So apparently they've decided to go ahead and fix the Master Chief Collection about 4 years later, 3 years.
I
guess
never
4
really
years.
had a problem with it. I don't understand what everybody's so upset about. But I'm also not like, super Halo. But I played it, and it was fine.
So, if you played the single player, you probably didn't have any problems.
That's all I
But
do.
if you were wanting to play multiplayer, because really to a lot of us that grew up with the consoles and with the game, that's what it was all about, was that multiplayer connection. And to be honest, Halo introduced matchmaking. So
That's true.
to see it matchmaking not work in the Master Chief Collection was kind of jarring. However, I mean, I did get it to work, but it wasn't a flawless experience. However, now it is going to be today. If you download the patch that just released, so if you already own the Master Chief Collection, there's a patch that's about 76 gigabytes, I believe, that you can install right now to get this content ready. Because they're getting ready to put it on the Game Pass on September 1st, which is Sunday, as we record this. So Game Pass is going to be getting Xbox, quite arguably, Xbox's best package of games with the Master Chief Collection. So with that, just as a recap, you get Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I don't believe it now includes ODST, but I think you can still purchase that for $5.
That's correct.
But all of the news out of Gamescom was about the Halo numbered editions. They didn't even mention ODST, so I don't know if it received the full upgrade like everything else did. But I would stand to reason that they probably did because it uses the same assets.
I saw a tweet that said if you buy it today, it's been upgraded with the other games.
Fantastic. So they're not leaving any fan behind. Like ODST is one of my favorite games of the Halo series because just it's different, different pace. It's somber in tone. I appreciate playing as the Master Chief a lot. He's a great character. I love playing as Master Chief. However, it was a nice change of pace to be the other guys, the Marines, the step above the Marines actually, the Orbital Drop Shock Troopers. That's what ODST stands for, Donnie.
That's the one that Q actually recommends that I play. He's like, I think you would like ODST the best, knowing how I play Gears and I guess the other things about me. That's the one he's telling me that I should play.
I definitely think that you would enjoy it a little bit. Maybe so tell me this: how do you like the Master Chief style of play, where it's you versus a million, and the odds are in your favor?
Yeah. No, I enjoy it. I played the first one to completion. I played the second one to completion. I gave up on the third one, and I gave up on Halo 5. I didn't like 5 is like my least favorite campaign of the bunch, to be honest with you. It's definitely not something I was enjoying. So I gave up on that one pretty early. But 1 and 2 I liked a lot. It was cool. I'm glad I played them. I always wanted to, knowing how they feel for folks. I always thought that would make a lot of sense to have that in my repertoire. It was one of those big blind spots that I never played. So I'm glad that I did. But I like those more than the newer one, I guess.
Right. I mean, what'll be cool to me, I think, is going to be interesting to check out Halo 2 Anniversary in this edition, because they redid a lot of Halo 2 for the Master Chief Collection to make it this Anniversary edition. And seeing it now in 4K with the 60 frames per second and everything is going to be... It's going to be great. I can't wait. I mean, I guess I don't have to wait. I can probably go downstairs and play it tonight with the new update.
I already downloaded
it. Did it actually make it 4K now?
Yeah,
with HDR and everything.
Okay, I haven't turned it on, but I did see all that. I saw the blog post. I saw the details. I watched the trailer announcement. All that. Yeah, it's all 4K. It's all frames. The matchmaking lobbies. It's all supposed to be better now.
That's fantastic. Xbox One X making it breathes new life into older titles, and I think it's fantastic. So, Donnie, I remember you mentioned to me on the Discord over at Make Us Better, the Make Us Better Discord. Go check it out. You mentioned that you picked up GTA 5 recently on Xbox.
Yeah, I did.
Talk about a blast from the past. I'm also playing GTA 5 online. I've been playing. I don't know why, but it's just got hooked to me just all of a sudden. And you said that there were rumors of a 4K patch for the Xbox One X. I haven't actually heard these rumors yet, but you are giving me some hope, because I've been sinking a lot of time into this game, that maybe around Red Dead Redemption time they're going to be like, hey, this is Rockstar and we're cool and here's everything else now that we've done. Because I think that'd be great. Even though it still looks fantastic, GTA 5 does on the Xbox One X, it's not really getting any updates or benefits outside of the normal system processing that you get as enhancements. If they put out a 4K edition, an Xbox One X Enhanced Edition, whew, that's going to look so good.
Yeah, and the I was following a Reddit rumor that apparently had used leaked, I would say, compilation or anniversary edition. There was some sort of retail leak that there was going to be a GTA 5 anniversary edition, ultimate edition, collector's edition, or something that was supposed to drop this holiday. Was what they were using, and then I guess included in maybe in the notes was a visual update or an upgrade. I have no idea if it was true or not, but it was enough for me to swipe GTA 5 for $13 at Best Buy. It was on sale, and I was like, man, $13. That's such a good game. Plus, I knew you guys were playing it on Xbox. I have really adopted Xbox this year. It's like my main go-to play machine. It's all I'm doing lately. So I was like, I'll just add this, and if I ever get a chance to replay, because I knew, with the super sampling and all the stuff that X does, I knew it would look better and, faster load times, anything just right out of the box. So if the update ever came down the line, I figured it would be a good investment.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that $13 is a... Did you ever play the single player?
Sweet deal. Yeah, I played it on PlayStation.
So even if you just play the online, you're going to get your money's worth out of that. That's a good pickup.
Absolutely.
Talking about Game Pass again, with Halo the Master Chief Collection, September 1st, it's going to be in there for your Game Pass subscribers. They also announced at GamesCom that they are going to have a Game Pass app, which is currently out in beta on Android and iOS. This is what it looks
Google
like,
Play.
the title screen on the iOS side of things. You have to request a specific invitation to use it, but it allows you to go in, see what's on Game Pass, see what's going to be leaving Game Pass, see what's able to be installed and push these installations right to your console. So let's say you are at home. Or, I'm sorry, you are at work. I wish you could be at home. Let's say you're at work or you're out and you say, oh, it's new games today, or I want to play this when I get home. I think it's on Game Pass. You can go in here, find the game, say you want to install State of Decay 2 or Sea of Thieves, pop it up, and you can say, go ahead and install it to my hard drive.
Yep.
Or go ahead and install it to my Xbox One. Your Xbox One does have to be in the power setting mode that allows instant on, that keeps your Xbox up to date, as well as install applications, so make sure you have that setting set on your Xbox. But being able to do this is fantastic. Oh, by the way, with Game Pass, another benefit that I don't think is talked about enough is you get discounts on any of the content associated with Game Pass for digital content. So, for instance, State of Decay 2 usually is a $30 game, but if you decide that you want to buy it, it's $24. Also, content that's associated with that game is on sale too. I don't think there's any content for this game just yet, but it's usually either 10 or 20% off is what you get digitally. Which, by the way, with all these services deciding, hey, we're going to stop offering our 20% pre-order bonuses or bonuses for new games, digital with this is becoming more of an option. It is, to me, when they had the Xbox rewards, I would always prefer to buy digitally because I was getting back, I think it was 8% on everything as a rebate. They've revamped that and kind of turned it in with Microsoft Rewards now, so I still get some sort of discount, and you can redeem those rewards for Microsoft gift cards or other things. So it's still an option, and it gives you some sort of benefit to kind of offset the cost a little bit. But when you pair it with Game Pass, and you can get a brand new game, which I'm assuming, I would only hope, that let's say Forza Horizon 4 comes out, and you love that game, you absolutely love it, and let's say you just want to get the Ultimate Edition because you want to own it, you'll get that discount. You know, I mean, it's $100 content usually, and so it'll probably take $20 off at that point if it's a 20% off. So I think, again, Game Pass, it's great value. It's one of those things that is so consumer friendly and facing, and just something they don't have to do. They didn't have to give discounts for the content. That's just, above and beyond to just kind of help differentiate and bring in that audience a little bit. What do you think about the discounts, Donnie? What do you think about the Best Buys and Amazon's doing away with them, but still the digital side, you can get some here?
Yeah, not only is Amazon going away with it, they raised the price. They raised the price. Their annual price went up $20, and they took your 20% away. I have Best Buy through E3, the next E3, and then I'm done with the Best Buy GCU, and that's going to be really, really sad for me because I use it all the time.
I have the Best Buy one through the next week.
Nice. Like so I do with Game Pass, I'm sure games. When it comes up to that end point, I'm sure I'm going to future cost save as many things as possible. I'll just start buying things down the line just to save nickel and dime when I can. I think your concept is spot on. I think your example is rough. Because there's been no first-party game that they've thrown in the Game Pass that they took away. So in my mind, there's no really reason to buy it. However, they do kind of put a spotlight on a lot of these really cool indie games that'll hop into Game Pass for a month or two. Or like a Doom or a Fallout 4 or something like that.
$15.99 for Doom.
Exactly. So there are these little games that come and go. And specifically, I really like the indies. I love getting a chance to try these indie games out. So if an indie game hops in there, a month or two, maybe you're playing Forza and you don't get to it, but maybe you finally get to it and it's about to hop off. A game that might be $14.99 maybe only costs you $8.99 if you're a Game Pass member. That's a sweet deal. That's even that's a deal just even in itself. You think about how much Game Pass cost. You get $5 off a game. That's a sweet deal.
It's worth it.
I know.
Even if you just want to rent a game to try it out, right? Instead of going to the rental store paying, $5-6, whatever it is to rent the game these days, and just losing that, you get Game Pass. You can rent the game, let's say for a month for $10, and you can check out all the other games that are on there, and then you get the discount where you say, well, you know what, I kind of like this game. Let's go ahead and buy it. I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
Yep, absolutely. And I'd like to think all of these things, All Access, Game Pass, I mean, it's all kind of pushing towards that future that I think we all see coming. I just don't think people really realize how fast it's coming, because it's coming, and it's coming fast. And it's, this is Microsoft really making a really good play on subscriptions. They're going towards a subscription-based model. You're going to subscribe to Xbox. You're not going to buy Xbox. You're not going to buy a game anymore. You're going to subscribe to Xbox. You get access to all this content. And they're going to try to turn it something more towards like the Office 365, the Windows product line that they've, been successful with for so many years. They're going to try to bring people in and start cultivating, an annual return on investment, people that keep coming back. And, whether people are ready for it or not, whether they like that or not, like that's the way it's going to go. And to be honest with you, if they keep doing these things with hardware like All Access and Games Pass and bundles and things like that, I think it's just going to be too hard to ignore. It's not going to be. And that's, we were talking about E3. I was doing my whole little spiel about this streaming box. Nobody wants to stream anymore. I don't want to stream my games. It's not as good. I'm like, you say that now. You may not say that when it's $79.99 versus $599.99. Like there is a price point to where people start to adopt it, and even like enthusiasts like us, we may still buy the Xbox 2X, for all the Ks. But even then, 2 or 3 years later, you can't tell me that Nathan's not going to put a streaming Xbox in his bedroom instead of a second console. You'll try it because the price will be too hard to ignore. And they'll eventually...
I did buy a PlayStation TV and it's still in the box.
See? Then there's like a curiosity. It's a price point thing. And you start throwing all those things together, and I mean, they're definitely setting themselves up for something big. I mean, it could be huge.
Yeah. I mean, so the argument for streaming in the future is eventually I think we'll get there. I don't think the infrastructure can handle it nationwide.
I think your infrastructure can.
Mine can.
Yeah, yours can.
Yeah.
Anybody in the Google Fiber stuff should be all about this business.
I don't have Google Fiber. I have a different company, but it's fiber to my house nonetheless. It's fantastic. But, just thinking, even people I work with, some of them live out in areas where all you can get is DSL. Yeah. And you're not going to want to stream over DSL. Even cable, if you're in a densely populated area, cable, the way that works is you get bandwidth to a node, and then the node is split between all the people that subscribe to it. So you can have a pretty low, bandwidth and ping. There's a lot of things that latency builds up to. So, and that's the killer, is if it's a high latency, that you're going to have issues with all this stuff, because that input will kill you, literally, in a game. I mean, you're going to lose the edge.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. If I'm right in my thinking, Xbox's model is you don't have to stream. You can. See, that's the thing. They're not going to go out with like this it's not going to be Xbox One again. They're not come out with this TV box that doesn't play used games. Like, they learned their lesson. What they're going to do is they're going to come out and they're going to show you the new box that uses a disc and everything, and they're going to introduce you this new thing that doesn't, that you can use if you want to. And then as
the Xbox Go.
And then as more people adopt it, then the old one will just kind of go away, right? The next gen, there won't be one. And will anybody care? No, because they'll all have moved to the cheaper thing once Microsoft proves that it works. And by doing this, they'll get the time. They'll sell to the people that it does work for, and the people that they don't, they'll offer a solution. That was the problem with the Xbox One, right? Remember that GameSpot article where they asked Don Matrick, what about Marines in Iraq? And he was like, well, we have a 360. That's alleviated. There will be an Xbox that plays physical stuff for the time being that you can buy. It's going to cost you, but you can buy it. But then the streaming box is going to be I just think it's going to be very consumer friendly.
So I could see like that multi-SKU approach, right? There's never going to be, I shouldn't say never. The next 2 to 3 generations, I still think there's going to be that home-powered unit that will be your processor and your disk drive. The disk drive may eventually go away quicker than the actual processing and everything.
That was the thing that I told Dev. That was my initial thing, because I think everybody's has in their mind like a Roku, right? I think everybody hears streaming box, they think Roku. I'm kind of thinking of like a limited memory Xbox. Think of like an Xbox One S without a disk drive, but it has a hard drive and it has a processor, and you can play like the Xbox One S version of a game that you can download locally. Maybe you get a terabyte and you can play it locally off the internet. But you can also stream this library of Game Pass games, or this bigger library of all games that you can do, and you can kind of do both. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, like, why? No, I don't really think I'm really interested in this topic, if you can tell, because I'm trying to find people, and I'm not really hearing anybody say that. It's like stream or nothing, and I'm like, why can't it be like PlayStation Now, where they sell you a box that plays games, but it's digital. It's a digital box. That would have to be the thing, right? Because you save cost on the CDs. Plus, Microsoft is trying to build a digital investment. But you can download games. Maybe you can't download 8 terabytes worth of games, but you could download 30 games and play them, But then you could also stream them. And they just kind of get you going with the streaming thing. And if it takes off, then they'll lean more into it. Kind of in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, and you can kind of see at E3 this year, Phil Spencer talked a little bit about, bringing Xbox to other devices, so like your tablets, things like that. And that, to me, denotes a streaming concept. And I know that there are some pretty good streaming platforms out there that can stream from your PC, or even there's the PlayStation. You can stream from your PlayStation across, a WAN to another location, and it's actually okay. But there's dedicated processing available to you. You know what I mean? You're processing from your dedicated unit to your dedicated unit, and assuming you have a decent internet connection, that could work. But once you start doing something with Azure or something else where it's the shared processing compute power in the cloud, that's being
Crackdown.
In. Remember what happened to Crackdown? Being where I work at and having insight into how Azure works in this cloud compute technology, A, it's not cheap. It's expensive.
Sure.
And B, they can never say that they're 100% up, 100% reliable, which I guess you can't really say that about a console either, even though it's here physically for you. I mean, you could have power failure, things like that go wrong, but those are more uncommon, I think, than in an outage in Azure or in the cloud.
Yeah.
And I think with Sony, when they try to do their PS Now, and people were curious about it, they wanted to try it and see how it worked, but by and large, it's not utilized much because the streaming introduces that latency and that lag, and if you don't have good internet, then that's an issue.
Actually, I would disagree with you. Here's where I would disagree with you, and I think this is kind of also a different path that I'm taking than I think I'm reading from bloggers and whatnot about what this Xbox thing could be. I think the biggest reason why PlayStation Now isn't a bigger deal is because it's very expensive. The price model that they have with PlayStation Now doesn't make any sense. You get to rent a game for like a week or 3 months or a year, but you can't own it. My idea, or at least the way I'm thinking, if I'm Donnie's predicting the future, if you buy this Xbox digital box that can stream games, and you're a Game Pass subscriber and you're a Live subscriber, you don't pay for that. It's included. If you buy the game, you can stream it. If it's in Game Pass, you can stream it. I think it's just like a way of playing the game. They don't charge you for the actual streaming. Because this All Access thing, Game Pass, what are they doing? They're building a subscription. The subscription model is only as valuable as the amount of people that subscribe to it. And the moment they start introducing all of that, I think they lose everybody. And I think Microsoft's too smart for that. So I think they'll just let you stream games. So, it could be like you could download 40 gigabytes of this game to play it and wait an hour, or you could just start streaming it. You can stream it right now. It goes live at midnight. Play Red Dead 2. And, those that can't won't, but those that can will.
There's a lot we could talk about with the streaming and versus local and things like that. But for me, and I'm sure you're along with me in this, and people, the enthusiasts, as you've called us affectionately.
I'm there with you. I'm over here talking about the future streaming plans we know nothing about. I'm over here just like Phil Spencering the entire situation.
I think that, for me, I still have a desktop computer even. I have a laptop, I have a Mac, I have a desktop computer. I'm of the mentality that I still want my desktop computer for the power. I still want to have it for processing and that data, being able to do voice and video editing and things like that. Like, I have it chock full of memory. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, or maybe even 64, on the solid state terabyte drive and everything, just with an i7 drive or processor, so I can just do what it needs to do. I'm the kind of guy that's still going to want to have all the Ks, like you said. I'm a guy that's still going to want to have that local processing power. I don't want to rely on the cloud. You can augment me in the cloud. That's fine. But I still want to have a guaranteed experience wherever I'm sitting, whether that be in my office, in my computer, wherever. I want that guaranteed compute power. So
I'm with you.
For me, I mean, it's not for us in a way. I mean, like you said, maybe curiosity factor. You want to just try it in
additional
different
boxes, different rooms, different TVs. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Actually, let me ask you a question that Devin asked me. Because Devin said when the next gen starts and PlayStation has, as he said, if they power bump Xbox again, he goes, Donnie, you're just going to go back to PlayStation. He might be right if that was to be the case. But my rebuttal to him was, I don't think Xbox is going to allow that to happen anymore. I got to think that that's like number one of Phil Spencer's Xbox console to-do list. They love saying, we make the strongest box possible. Mm-hmm. You don't outpower Microsoft. They're going to make a stronger box. And here's my rebuttal to Devin was, if PlayStation comes, so let's say Xbox goes next year and PlayStation comes a year after. If PlayStation comes a year after and does an upgrade, I just expect Microsoft to turn around and produce another upgrade. They've shown it this gen. We have the Xbox OG, the Xbox S, the Xbox X. They'll just keep doing it until they have the marketing blurb that they're looking for. What do you think about that?
So I definitely think that with this new era of Microsoft, and it's not just Phil Spencer. I want to be clear that
sure.
Phil Spencer
he's just the face.
Yeah, I mean, and as if you're on our Discord, you know that we praise Phil Spencer for everything. But it's also Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. When the other guy stepped down that Satya took over for, it was long overdue for him to pass the torch. His views were, he was wanting to force what he thought was great down people's throats rather than listening to what the people wanted and executing that vision accordingly. With Satya, he's got a different mentality where he comes and approaches it. He's understanding what people want, thinking about what makes it better, taking that Steve Jobs type approach of giving them what they don't realize they want just yet, but then people coming around to realize, oh, I do want this. And Phil Spencer is very much aligned with that vision, and he can execute that on the Xbox side, which is what we talk about. But you look at the Office side, you look at the Windows side, you look at all these other products in the Microsoft portfolio. They're all adopting the same mentality now, which is very much driven from the top. So I do think that Xbox wants to be known as the most powerful place to play. They want to be known as that. They also want to be the center of your living room. However, I think what's more important to them at this time with this climate is being the most powerful place to play.
I think it's apparent in the way that the company behaved once the Xbox came out. They were quick to brag about it. They invited Digital Foundry, like all of the, Mike Ibarra, everybody. They love talking about it. They're a PC company. Like, to make no brass tacks about it, this is what they do. They love PCs. They're just like you, Nathan. They're just like me. I'm sitting over here in a 1 terabyte machine and an i7. They do the same thing. They compare specs all the time.
They've probably got Xenon and i9s, though, so... I can't tell you. Like, you have to know, like, they probably just were miserable at the start of the generation when it was all 900p versus 1080. That had to bother 80% of the people that showed up to work in the Xbox division. They had to just be like, So that humble pie, though, it fueled what we have today.
Yep. And I think they're going to lean into it. That's the thing. I think they're going to go, see what works? This works, that didn't. Now let's lean into it. And I expect the next box to be a beast.
Well, remember the history of Xbox and them introducing it with the big Duke controller behemoth box, right? That was alongside the PlayStation 2.
Remember the one that was actually shaped like the X on stage?
I saw
like that Chrome
at Microsoft.
X. Oh, that's right. You went there. Yeah. How was that?
I went to Microsoft. That was great. But let me finish this point first. So looking at the history of Microsoft, the Xbox was more powerful than the PlayStation. It was more innovative. It had the PlayStation 2, I should say. It had the Ethernet port built in. It had better graphics. It was pushing HD out of the console. So it was more forward-thinking from that aspect. You look at the 360 versus the PS3, it's debatable which is more powerful, but because of the architecture that they built with, the Xbox was more adaptable, the 360.
It was definitely more PC-friendly, more port-friendly, for sure.
Right. So developers were able to actually develop it more clearly for it, whereas with the cell processing infrastructure on the PS3, there were issues like you had with Bethesda and every Bethesda game not working right on the PlayStation. But now you get
just
to
look
this
how
era.
much like the UI changed on the 360. We went from like the blades to like the Metro. Like even today, I still have a 360. My son plays it, and we boot it up, and it still looks like a very modern console. As opposed to, if I could throw a little shade, as opposed to a PlayStation 3. You boot up a PlayStation 3, and it's very much like just the PlayStation 3 that you had. You know, they've made some changes, but more or less the crossbar, like the downloads, they still kind of like downloading the bubble thing that you gotta like wait for, and then you gotta reinstall it. Like it's not elegant. Whereas like Xbox, you know, they're really good at all that menu design stuff, off stuff. And I know like the Xbox UI was bad for a long time, but they fix it. That's one thing that I really appreciate about Xbox is when they do something wrong, they definitely fix it. They're quick to move. You know, they improve things. And yeah, the Xbox, even today, the Xbox 360 is kind of still like a legit console. You know, like if you like if you have like a 7-year-old that doesn't care, you know, doesn't read Game Informer, doesn't know, right? If you just took somebody that has no idea about games and gave them a 360, they'd have a blast. You know, like it's still easy to navigate, still plays great games, still looks great. There's a lot to choose from. You know, it's pretty legit. Live is still going.
Exactly. And let's say they get an Xbox One eventually. Probably half those games they have are going to play on the Xbox One, so they can still play the games. So, thinking about you know, just the Xbox and the power and the history. What happened after the 360 quote unquote won that generation was PS4 came out at the gate with the higher memory RAM, the higher speed RAM, the more powerful processor, pushing that 1080 content and really like leaning in on the game side. Whereas Microsoft kind of was like, oh, we can just, you know, take it easy now, and everybody's going to want what we give them because we say that they want it.
They had the market.
They thought
the market would just come with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That wasn't the case at all. So it was, you know, it's good to see that Microsoft is back in that mentality of the most powerful. Because when it benefits both PlayStation and Microsoft fans, to be honest. If they are both in this arms race of who's got the better console, who's got the cheaper price, who can innovate, we're going to get great content on both platforms. Who's got the best games,
who's got the best exclusives, who's got the most exclusives. The only person that wins here is us. We're the only people that win here. We get cheaper games, more of them on cheaper hardware more often. It's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And just think about with, you know, PlayStation is known for those, you know, the third-party exploration exclusive games that are very cinematic, plot-heavy. They're known for those type of games. What's Microsoft doing right now? They're building their own development studio in Santa Monica, you know, and taking some of these people who have worked on some of these fantastic titles from these other platforms, bringing them on board. If you didn't have that competition, there would be no cause for them to do this. And by them raising this bar, Sony's going to raise the bar, and then Nintendo might come in and raise the bar. You know, you never know what happens.
We're just carding. We're playing the same card game we played since
Nintendo's a wild card. You never know what they're going to do. They're just like sitting over there like, let's just do this.
Yeah, we just do our own thing. Like when you zag, they zig. So it's like
right. So anyway, before I mean, we're getting a little long here, but you know, Donnie's here, so I can continue on as long as I want because Donnie doesn't care. He said, "Hey, we're on. We can just do it."
That's right. So, I'm never overtime, Nathan. You are overtime. Kevin's overtime. I'm never overtime ever.
Mo might actually be overtime.
That's true. That's true.
So, just wanted to talk briefly. Also announced at Gamescom was that PUBG, you know, our buddy Kevin, actually probably right now doing MUBG, where he's playing for the Make Us Better community. For the Xbox One, will have its 1.0 release here in about a week on September 4th. Now, what that means, Donnie, is that all those hours that I've put into PUBG so far and have had no achievements to show for it, come September 4th, when this updates to 1.0 and I launch it, I should probably have a good amount of achievements starting to unlock, because I've done a lot of stuff in this game.
That's fun. That's cool.
So what I thought was great is they verified that all the achievement progress will carry over for, people like me and Mo who care about that. And it'll also kind of add that extra layer onto it, because I know a lot of people share a mentality of me of, if a game doesn't have achievements, there's this lack of drive that we have to play. The Xbox Drive, bow. There's this lack of motivation that we have to want to continue to play it because we're not earning an achievement. It feels like there's nothing to show for it, even though if we're enjoying our time and everything.
Sure.
That's why part of the reason, not why, but part of the reason why Xbox is my main platform is because I want those achievement points. Now it's going to be nice to have this game come out of game preview on September 4th, have that progress transfer over, and hopefully have a better experience. The one thing I wish they would have done, Donnie, the one thing I wish they would have knocked it out the park and just everybody would be on board, it would actually have a chance against Fortnite, is if they would have put it in Game Pass on September 4th as well.
That would have been a nice little publicity stunt. I gotta admit to you, man, I told you that the week after I played it. I'm not in on PUBG, man. It's just not for me. I liked Fortnite. I liked Fortnite way more, much faster. Like 10 minutes into Fortnite, I was like, "Oh, this is way better than PUBG." Like,
I just don't like it. But
almost
it's more Nintendo, though.
It is more Nintendo. So yeah, you're right. It's just PUBG's just janky. Like, it's just a lot. It's just janky. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just like playing like a beta 360 game or something. Like, it's just weird. Weird things happen. It was weird to run. Like, the shooting's fine. Just oftentimes with PUBG, I feel like the map is almost too big. Like, I'm constantly running for like long periods of time. It's like jogging simulator. I'm like,
you gotta get in the car.
I'm like, I don't see anybody for minutes at a time. I don't know. I wasn't really digging PUBG. I never forget, man. I told you, like, that loading screen, that plane. It's like the worst looking plane ever. It's like, what is this game? I hate to come off as a PUBG hater, but yeah, I kind of am.
I mean, it's not for everybody. It's definitely an acquired taste. I mean, I enjoy it more than Fortnite. So I've played
I think
just a
you'll
little bit of
move on
Fortnite.
with Battlefield and COD as the bigger studios start releasing their versions of PUBG. I think you and a lot of people will find, solace in something else.
Well, did you know, Donnie, that GTA actually released a version of their own Battle Royale within GTA Online and nobody knew about it?
No idea about that, yeah. I don't even know what GTA Online is, to be honest with you. I thought it was like, the one time I went in there, it's just like mass hysteria. Like, cars are crashing, people shooting each other, and I was like, I don't want any of this. No, this is not why I play GTA for.
Well, there's still some of that, because, I mean, it's an open world sandbox that people can play in, but you can... Basically, you think of the open world, Donnie, as a lobby that you play in, but if there's games that you actually want to play, like game modes, you can queue up into those from that lobby.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, one of these special game modes, it's not always on there. They had, just when I started playing again, so about 2 months ago or so, they had a mode where you parachute in out of a plane, and you go and, you just kind of do your thing, and last person alive wins.
That would be better than PUBG.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, they had their mechanics down.
You could do everything in GTA. You could, like, fly planes and stuff?
Exactly, yeah. You could do
Dude, that
everything.
sounds amazing.
So they didn't publicize it, at least not outside of their, typical Rockstar socials. But it was... If they do that... If they were to actually
Red
say...
Dead?
Yes, if they were actually to say, in Red Dead, we're going to put this mode in there, it's Last Man Standing, Outlaw mode, or whatever they want to call it.
It's like Westworld the game.
Sure, go for it. I mean, if you put that mode in there, it's a Western theme, sure, so some people may or may not like that, but the execution's going to be fantastic. And just look at that game, dude. So apparently the footage that we saw was from a PlayStation 4 Pro. Just imagine that on the X.
Dude, Red Dead's going to be so good.
It's going to be fantastic.
I'm
I still
so
have
excited.
a beef with them, though.
Really?
So I pre-ordered it on my Xbox One, and
I remember this.
They were supposed to give me a pre-order bonus of $2 million. And that was like a month
For
actually
GTA
over.
Online.
Yes, for GTA
Yeah,
Online.
it's just, if you pre-order Red Dead Redemption 2, they'll give you $2 million.
$2 million.
$2 million.
So I was supposed to receive this via Xbox Live messaging within 5 to 7 days. Cool, whatever. So a week and a half go by because I'm in Seattle, and I'm still in there. It's not happened yet, so I send them a support message and like, hey, Xbox, this is what's happened. I haven't got my stuff. What's going on? And they say, oh, sorry. Yeah, we see that you bought this and you should be getting it. Contact Rockstar. I'm like, oh, so you want me to contact Rockstar? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay. You know, customer support 101, you don't put something back on the customer to do. Just, okay. Anyway, so then I contact Rockstar, and I'm emailing back and forth with them for a couple weeks, and they're like, you need to contact Microsoft. I'm like, you serious? I've taken video, I've shown you pictures, images, everything that you need to know that I purchased this and I haven't received it. And then like, no, you did. You redeemed a 1 million code here. I'm like, no, that wasn't the pre-order bonus. That was my buddy Donnie giving me this code because he pre-ordered and got his code, and so
That's
he
right.
gave me $1 million. And so they're like, oh, you need to contact Microsoft. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I call them a couple days ago, and I say, hey, this is what's going on. You know, first off, the call with the guy, I'm talking to him, and I'm telling him that I have a problem with my pre-order bonus not coming through. I was supposed to get a bonus that hasn't showed up yet. He's like, oh, okay. So you pre-ordered the game and you haven't downloaded it yet? You can't launch it? I'm like, no. The game's not out yet.
See, I feel bad
And
for those folks because they have no idea.
They don't know. They don't know. We know more than they do, right?
Yeah,
I understand
we do.
that. So I'm just sitting there like, you know, I'm the emperor over the PSVG Empire. So it's kind of funny just like sitting there.
I
Like,
know exactly how you feel.
So I'm like, no, dude, just listen. Can you pull up your storefront? Just look at the bullet point number 4 on your storefront, which says
See,
pre-order.
Nathan,
and
like,
you
can
get
we do a
this.
screen share? Let me do it.
Yes, exactly. I was like, can I take over your computer for a second and show you what you need to look at?
I'll do it.
So I'm talking to him. He's like, oh yeah, and, you know, he verifies stuff, puts me on hold, checks his email, whatever he does when he puts me on hold. And he's like, yeah, I see this is a thing, so we're going to go ahead and do this for you. And then I ask for a ticket number. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he waits, puts me on hold for another 10 minutes to give me a ticket number. So first off, I don't think he was going to give me a ticket number. Secondly,
First off, I don't think I was getting the ticket.
you put me on hold for like 30 minutes. This whole thing is just terrible. Anyway, I'm still without my $2 million in GTA Online, and I want to buy stuff. So it's just one of those things where I don't know. I have a little bit of beef with them right now. I'm hopefully
got
by
mine
the time
instantly.
Red Dead 2.
And it sat there in weeks for 2. Like, I gave you one code, but I gave Lucas my Red Dead Redemption code for his birthday because I saw he was playing with you guys. And I honestly didn't even realize. It sat there for like months. And then I saw you guys were playing, and I went to go. I was downloading an app or something, the Xbox app. I checked it. I don't know. I saw a notification. I clicked on it. I was like, oh yeah, I have all this money sitting here. Lucas, do you want this money? He's like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
That sucks for you. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, it's fine. But it's one of those things where it's like it's $20 worth of stuff, pretty much, because that's like what they translated to in the online stuff.
It's like $20 is $2 million.
Yeah. So I think that one of these days I might get it, but until then, I'll be content with what I have in GTA Online. But by the time Red Dead comes out, I hope that Rockstar and myself are on the
Red Dead. In other code news, Microsoft just sent me a code today to give away, which I thought was
what'd you
cool.
get?
It's neat. They gave me a month
Hey,
of Game Pass.
You're on the Xbox Empire show. You want to do it now?
Oh, actually, I already did. We had a new listener. I can't look it up because we're using Discord to record the call, so I can't close it to look it up. I think it's Kaiju, the new guy. He just showed up today, and he was like, hey, I've been listening to PSVG for a long time. I just now decided to join the Discord. Hey, what's going on, guys? Which I thought was awesome. And I posted I logged into my Xbox to download the Halo Master Chief update, and I see a message, and I click on it, and it goes, hey, you pre-ordered Tomb Raider. We also see you have Game Pass. Did you know that the old Tomb Raider's in Game Pass? I was like, I did. That's awesome. Cool message. They're like, why don't you give Game Pass away to a friend for a month? Here's a code. I was like, that's neat.
That's cool.
Who wants a month of Game Pass?
Yeah.
So he was the first person to reply, so I sent him the code.
Very cool. That's another reason, dear listener, for you to join the Make Us Better Discord, because stuff gets given away in there. Like, I remember sending out a message to some people when SDCC was going on, the Comic-Con, and I ran across this random tweet where someone said, hey, here's Deadpool and Deadpool 2 for free digitally.
Yep. And
I put it in our Discord in the movies channel, and then myself and I think you and some other people were able to redeem it.
Devin. So I have access to Devin's Voodoo library. We're movie sharing partners.
Movie bros.
Devin hits me and he goes, Deadpool's in the box. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That's cool, because that was one of the ones I was going to buy for him. So
nice.
Yeah, we got it, and that was awesome. It was a funny movie.
Mm-hmm. So make sure you join the Make Us Better Discord and talk with us over there and all the other people that are putting out great content. However, I did want to take a couple seconds to talk about my little trip to Seattle.
Yeah.
And so I went out there for work, but I did have a little bit of time that I went over to Microsoft and checked out their visitor center in the Xbox Research Building, which is kind of cool. And I don't know if you've noticed, but my shirt here is a sweet little Xbox polo. I also got some other Xbox swag, like this nice little Xbox thingy,
nice,
whatever this is called. I don't know what these are called. What are they called? Little bracelets? I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
bracelet, wristband.
But I did check out while I was there the original Xbox that you said mentioned earlier that was on that big glass display in the box. It was just like a big Chrome X. Took some pictures of that. It was pretty cool to see, like to see it in person, how big and massive that thing is versus the actual launch version that they had sitting next to it. And they had the mixer station set up. They had Game Pass on all these stations you can go check out. You could download a game and start playing it. They also had, like, Fortnite was installed everywhere and people were playing it together. They had a really cool Forza Motorsport 7 display set up that was sitting down in the arcade racer that had the moving seat and the vibrating stuff and the wheel and the pedals and everything, and you're sitting in front of this probably like a $5,000 4K inch 80-inch curved TV display in front of you with the QLED. It was just fantastic. It looked really good.
I can imagine so.
So
surprised you left. You just stay
I was
there.
asking if I could just like pack a tent, and just like everybody
you
else in
finish the
Seattle,
tour.
I'm
going to play Forza.
Yeah,
can I sign in with my own gamer tag? I got to get them Chiefs.
So I played that once, actually a couple times, and just really loved it. And it was a fantastic way to play it, and watching other people play it, everybody just sat down and had instant smiles on their face when that seat started rolling around, when they started messing up. And there was one lady, I don't think she's driven a car in a while, and she was just all over the road, like left and right, and she was just like all over the place. The Microsoft guy was trying to actually like, no, you need to kind of stay straight here in the lane, and then she was getting lapped, and it was fun. It was cool to see that in action. But that was one of my highlights, was that little Forza Motorsport 7 little display. They also had a Microsoft store that was in there that they sold some stuff that only they sell. So that's like the company store type items.
Yeah.
Like this polo I got is one of those types of things. And so you could buy different things there, but they also had HoloLens there on display, which I've never seen, and I've never demoed or anything before. And so I wanted to check it out. And they did this little tour of Rome. So you could go through Rome and look at some different things and kind of see how it worked. It was pretty cool. However, I think that it was the tour that they gave was actually probably better suited to something in like a VR instead of an AR, because HoloLens is the augmented reality where it uses your surroundings,
on top of stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
Where the VR may have been a little bit better option because it was really just focusing you in on a screen to look at, not really pulling in your surroundings. The only thing that you would use the AR side for was like when you said to go somewhere, you'd have like a little mouse click that you would do with your two fingers, and that was about the only thing that it used the AR side for. But the technology is really cool, and I think that it would have some pretty cool applications to see as far as in the research, development, and things like that. I know I've seen the demos with medical use and engineering use with engines and stuff. But as far as gaming goes, I don't think that it's probably not going to ever be out for any gaming purposes. And I know that VR has not really been a big focus at all for Microsoft or for Xbox. If you want VR on a Microsoft platform, you got a PC. But I don't think that you're going to get anything for VR anytime soon from the Xbox side. HoloLens is also very expensive. It's about $1,500, I think it was, at least, for a development kit to do that.
It's a shame they didn't have that Minecraft demo. I would love to let my son see that.
That would be pretty cool to see the Minecraft demo.
Like
I wonder if that's actually in practice.
And pick them up. That would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. The only thing I've ever seen HoloLens used for that I was like, wow, that's going to be pretty amazing whenever it does make its way was like, they showed like press how to swap out a light switch. Mm-hmm. So they had like an engineer on the other end of the line. So it was like a customer service thing, kind of like you with Xbox. And then you put on the HoloLens, and like the technician, the electrician was like, cut this cord, unscrew this screw. And I was like, that's awesome, because he's like drawing on your field of vision. I was like, no, that's next level stuff. You know, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So checked out HoloLens. Took my tour of Rome. I looked around at some other products that they had there, like the new Surface Books and the hubs and all that good stuff.
Did you play Crackdown?
Crackdown was not there. However, it was on a video. They had a video of the games up there that had Crackdown's video up there, but I did not actually play it, no. I did, however, I don't think I have it around here anywhere, actually, but I bought a little stress ball, which was an Xbox controller. It looks just like an Xbox controller, but it's a little stress thing that you can just squeeze. Yeah. And a couple little pins and some other little things that were just kind of like randoms. And I think I may have bought in a cup. Actually, no, I don't think I did. But it was cool just to go check it out, see Microsoft, see where all the magic is made, see the history that they had in the visitor center, as far as the different how they got where they are. It doesn't take you long to go check it out. But the main event, most people were around the electronics, like the HoloLens, the Forza Motorsport thing, the Xbox booth where they had all these Xbox setups. Dope. That Forza thing that in itself is a reason to go visit. That was really cool.
So next month, are we going to do this all about Forza? Like with the impending Forza launch? Like back end of September? Should just be Forza focused?
Forza focused? We can have something in there with Forza. I mean, Forza coming out in October 2nd, I think it is.
Yeah. So if we kept the same date, like today's the 27th, we could drop like September 27th for Forza.
Donnie, I don't like to commit.
I got lots of Forza things to talk about, man. Like I started playing Forza 2. Forza Horizon 2.
I saw you record a video, the opening video.
For any listeners out there, when I say Forza, just insert Horizon. It's the only Forza I care about. I actually wish they get rid of the other ones, and I just get Forza Horizon every year. I've got some concerns with Forza 4. Forza Horizon 4 concerns me because I'm not, from the stuff that they're showing so far, I'm not getting that fun Horizon Coachella vibe that I love with Forza Horizon. I'm getting this, you get to scream along the Ireland coastline, and it snows and then it rains. I'm like, that's not signs. I'm not fighting hidden cars. Like, where's the music festivals? Like, where's all of the stuff that I love? I'm going on blind faith. Plus, I have Game Pass, so it doesn't even matter. I'm not buying it anyway. I have Game Pass. But I'm just a little concerned that, like, the themes and the things that I fell in love with Forza Horizon 3, the same things that drove me to play Forza Horizon 2, the whole reason why I'm so excited about Forza Horizon 4 isn't there. Mm-hmm. And I hope I'm wrong. But, I mean, they didn't show that at E3. They just showed how great it looked.
Donnie, I think that you don't have anything to be worried about because the vibe has been the same since Forza Horizon the first. And I think they're just focusing in on what's new and what's different to try to, what they've built on, because I have yet to be let down by a Horizon game. They've always just somehow made it even better than I had expected than the previous one to be. So I have they've earned my faith, and like you said, Game Pass. It's going to be on my hard drive day one.
It doesn't matter. It's on Game Pass. I'll play it. If I don't like it, then who cares?
So I'm thinking that you're going to have it's built for X. It's built for everything that we have now. So it's going to look fantastic.
So pretty.
Yeah.
I tweeted this earlier today actually because Seth Joseph Roy, PlayStation PSXP member, tweeted or he did a YouTube stream of him playing like F1 or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is a great injustice this generation that like the biggest racing game fan on the entire PSVG staff has never touched a Forza game.
Hold on, he's the biggest racing game fan?
I think so.
I would like to challenge that title, sir.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. He plays like every racer. Like he's played that like monster truck Red Bull game. Like he plays all that stuff. Like the difference is you have Forza, games. So you just play Forza.
Yes,
he's still out there. He's still out there, walking the land of the blind. He's trying. He hasn't found Forza yet. He hasn't been awakened like I have. Like he doesn't know. So
doesn't he have a computer?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not one that I think could run Forza. I don't think
like a Windows 10.
Yeah, I don't think he's got like anything that could actually run Forza Horizon.
Okay, because I'm gonna say
Forza Horizon 2 though is leaving or has left the marketplace.
It is leaving the marketplace in September. I don't remember the exact date, but it is currently a Games with Gold game. So if you ever want to play it ever, go ahead and claim it now because it is a fantastic game
thing, right?
Yeah, I think it has to do with the music because it has all kinds of radio stations and music in there. Usually when a game leaves like this, it's due to some sort of licensing rights. They only secured the rights for X amount of years, and that term's expired. So they can't just take the music out. It's got to be something fundamental probably to it in some way. So that's what's going on.
And to be clear, when we say it's leaving, it means you cannot buy it anymore. Like on after September,
Microsoft's digital store.
Yeah, like it's gone. And they're also, I believe, most of the DLC is marked down for free too because I downloaded all kinds of stuff for it, and I enjoyed it. It's good.
It's the Forza Horizon 2. If you haven't played it, first off, if you're listening to this podcast, even if you don't like racing games,
I'm with you.
If you just like good games that are fun and just like very engaging and keeps your attention and can pick up and go and stop at any given point and just race and see beautiful vistas and everything as you do it, just go and check it out. I mean, it's free if you have gold, so you're not losing anything. You're just losing a little bit of data and a little bit of time to check it out. But I guarantee if you don't get sucked in by that first 10, 15 minutes by those opening races, that's the whole vibe that they're going for Forza Horizon. And if you don't like that, then it may not be for you, but it's fantastic in my opinion.
I still think 3 is a lot better.
3 is better.
Played both. Yeah, 3 is a lot better in my opinion. But
and that Hot Wheels DLC.
One of my favorite things that have happened to me since we created PSVG together was you telling me to try Forza Horizon 3. I had no idea that I would ever like a racing game. I had written that entire genre off for so long, only to find Forza Horizon 3, and I can't. I'm stoked for Forza Horizon 4. It's like right up there, man.
Seeing you get into it, I was happy about that. I'm
for
not
like
gonna
all
lie.
different reasons. Mo's all like, I got all these cars and I'm beating Brian, and you're like, I've sunk X amount of things. Me and my son we were like, we ran through some signs, we jumped over mountains. We're just doing all kinds of dumb stuff. I just like the open worldness of it. I was hitting all those speed traps. Oh man, every speed trap I found, I did that for an hour, and then breaking those signs, finding those hidden barns. Those hidden barn missions are my favorite. I could use 10 times more hidden barn stuff. Let me just drive around and go find things. Those things are a blast. So I'm stoked. Forza's gonna be great.
Forza is gonna be fantastic. But like you said, we may talk about that a little bit more next month. So let's hold anything else until then.
Forza month, starring Sean Capri from the Xbox Drive. It's all drive focus. It's all car focus.
I hope Sean listens. I know he does. Hello, Sean. So, Mr. Donnie Reece, I did want to thank you for coming on again to join me on the State of the Xbox Empire. Where can people find you, good sir?
You can find me and all of the PSVG folks over there at the Make Us Better Discord community, which you can find if you visit our blog, psvg.blog. Click on the Discord link at the top. It's an automatic invite, and we chat all day long about why Forza is better than Spider-Man and all kinds of stuff.
No. Forza, it's completely different. Spider-Man would want to drive a car in Forza because, he can't always swing everywhere, and so he needs a car sometimes, and, he likes Forza too, so it's okay.
Yeah, so you can come over there and, if you want to, kill some time in your workday and be amongst friends and talk about cool things and sports, and, we don't even talk about games all the time, just be anything. Come hang out with us over there in the Discord. You can also follow the entire team over there at PSVG on Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitter at Playin Nintendo. Ain't no G's in Playin Nintendo is dubbed by one Sean Capri.
Mr. Sean Capri. You can find me at Voiced by Nathan. You can find this show at PSVG Xbox Empire. So if you're on Twitter, that's where you can find us there. And if you want to go on the Discord, like Donnie said, hit us up in there. We'd love to chat with you and see what you think about all things Xbox. So, Donnie, again, thank you for joining me. Dear listener, thank you for listening. This has been the State of the Xbox Empire.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. In a world full of podcasts, these executive producers decided to band together to make us better. Stephen Iafrate, JoeySplats, Caro Underwood, Dante Bellini Jr., Jared Gauthier, Dude 427, Kevin Austin, Josh Borbone, Tammi Ryan, Robert Miller, Tim Aulph, Joe Brooks, Martini Jean, Nasty Boots, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong. But then there were some that went for gold. Sheldon Benedict, Tony Baker, and Panache Malloy. Not satisfied by gold, then comes Corey Hicks, found at twitch.tv/chicks_18, as well as Mr. Mark Moody, found at youtube.com/outoflives. These are the ones that make us better. Thank you. Thank you all.